She is affectionately called Dr. Mom, the molder of minds. And today she's going to talk about from Metaversity to AI Holotutors. So let's go on this journey with her. She's also got some VR experience and some other things you'll have the opportunity to try as well. Dr. Morris.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Messina Morris, also like she said, affectionately known as Dr. Molder of Minds. And I am here to talk to you all about Morehouse's Metaversity. Now, I am a biomolecular chemist by training who thought it was only right during a pandemic to get my advanced in organic chemistry course learning in virtual reality. And myself and 3 other brave colleagues of mine were the first to make virtual reality the classroom on a digital twin of Morehouse College. So I'm going to take you through our journey and how we've gone from, hey JC, having a virtual digital twin to simulations to now AI Holotutors that our students can access 24/7. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Metaversity and education and the role of our AI Holotutors and kind of how that came about. I always say that AI, oh, my picture didn't show up. That AI gave, okay, come on, act right. Hold on one second, y'all. You know, I don't like when the picture don't show up. AI gave XR its superpowers, so extended reality has been great. The technology is getting better, but being able to actually generate content that you want to see has become very integral in what we do. We've seen an impact on student learning, and I just want to let you all know that all of the innovation is happening right here in the Atlanta University Center at Morehouse College is actually making a global impact on education and learning. So we taught over 50 courses in immersive virtual reality, and there are now 200 Metaversities, of which Morehouse is the first. So this is me. I have been nominated and won all of these great awards, and I really think is just how much support the provost, the president's office has given us, and very grateful to sponsors and people who have just worked beside us, especially our EdTech arm, Victory XR. So we partner with them, and they've been basically our software development piece, and it's helping us transform the way that we teach our students. And I always like to say my why, because people are like, you work really hard and you do a whole lot of stuff, but I have a whole lot of reason. So I'm a mom of 5 boys, hence also Dr. Mom too, and a wife. And my 5 sons are all somehow integrated into tech. So electrical engineer, UI UX design, cybersecurity specialist, and all of them are gamers. But I also had a love and curiosity for learning because I have a brother who had meningitis at the age of 4 and it left him brain damage. And I was a special needs sister whose imaginative play was how can I cure my brother, and went on to study chemistry because of that, neurochemistry. And so coming into, full circle with 2 parents that just believed in education, they made me believe that everything that I did was possible. So as I'm standing here, I'm not just standing as myself, I'm standing behind a wonderful family. I actually have a granddaughter because my oldest son understood the assignment after he got married, is to bring a girl home. And then 2,500 Morehouse scholars, all of which call me Dr. Mom. And the servant leadership that I am trying to instill in them to continue to go out to their communities and thrive. This is about wealth building, using innovation to overcome oppression, 20 generations of oppression where we could not learn, where we could not thrive. And I feel like this is the time now for them to really explore their genius. And we are right at the bleeding cutting edge, and exposure is everything for students. So you might say, what is a Metaversity? So people say the metaverse is dead. People say the metaverse is just Meta, but we were Morehouse in the metaverse before Facebook changed their name to Meta. And that was a real smart move on their part because they have actually tricked the minds of the world into believing that they are the metaverse. But the metaverse is a collection of virtual worlds in a persistent shared space where you can learn, grow, connect, But for us at Morehouse, it's really been for all of those things. At a time when we couldn't gather, we were able to have things like the Candle in the Dark Gala for our students, Meditation Mondays in the Metaverse to help with mindfulness practice and metacognitive strategies and growth. And we were able to actually measure the impact that it was making. And so that was the first data on how these tools in AR and VR could actually work to help increase learning. And we did this before Stanford even taught their first one, and they have a whole history of using human-computer interaction to study in VR with Jared Davidson. And I thought that was really powerful that we took on this enormous project of making virtual reality the classroom when the father or grandfather like of VR was like, I'm not doing it. And he taught one summer class of communication on the platform and was like, we're good on that. It is a hard job. So I say it's my happy place, it's where I have joy, but it is challenging. So Morehouse partnership with Victory XR started actually in 2020 during the pandemic. I taught, anybody know TRIO program? Upper Bound Math Science? Yeah. Upper Bound. So I was a research science coordinator. I've been teaching in that program for 14 years. Every summer, I give half of my summer to the TRIO program. And we started teaching in an asynchronous virtual reality, but I didn't know what students were doing. So this gave us an opportunity to be able to be in a room with all of our students showing up as their avatar presence. And it just totally changed the way that they saw themselves. So our Metaversity has immersive features. We do have a virtual twin campus, but students have an opportunity to go to hundreds of different sites, of which I'm going to show you in just a second, where they can have interactive experiences either in a lab space, back in time. And Morehouse is very pivotal in creating the culturally responsive spaces for classes that fit our student population or our learning objectives. So it's been really, really good to be first. Because when you're first at something, usually you're the blueprint, and we're the blueprint that is able to just continue to innovate and iterate over time. And it's been so much fun. So before I go into this, I'm going to show you what our platform that we use looks like. We didn't start off on this platform, actually. We started off on the Engage platform. And on the Engage platform, which still exists, our partners were in Ireland. And what was so hard about working with them was that every time we had to change or upgrade, or we made our students the creators in the space, and our students wanted an opportunity to create things, but every time we wanted to create something, we had to go back to them, and it took so long for them because they're actually a company that caters to enterprise. So we started working with Victory XR, and they actually built their own platform, primarily because of the needs of educators, and primarily because we were saying, hey, we don't need to be waiting to do certain things. Okay, I'm gonna cast. I was casted, but looks like it stopped.
There you go.
So you all can see yourself right now, right? Okay. And so now I'm gonna step into my boundary, so then you can see. This is the catalog, and so students get to choose their own avatar. I'm in red, you know, looks like I'm sitting right now because I'm in a stationary boundary. But this is my Dr. Mom avatar presence, and I have on my crimson and cream. We're gonna say those are cream because I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. All right, so students get to create who they want to appear as. They always start off in a guided tutorial, but we have access to all of these things. So robotics, drones, welding, carpentry, nursing and medical assistance, ag tech, vet tech, and then they go through these King's Labyrinth exercises whenever they're doing quizzes. We have an AI lesson library, student teaching simulators, and this is the Journey for Civil Rights experiment. I'm gonna take you to just our digital twin, and we have some mixed reality experiments. and experiences. But all of chemistry is built out in here, and most of the things that are needed for biology. And then there are these creator spaces, which are these spaces that you can add to, a lot of which our campus created. And so you can play with your, go in by yourself, or you can go in with others. I need to stay in this spot. And so this is Morehouse's digital twin. This is what it looks like now. In this particular space is where we bring students, one, just to get them acclimated to seeing the campus on their own, where we teach them how to use different 3D assets, how to pull them, push them, bring them out, put screens out, work in groups, and pair together. Y'all see my alma mater, Clark Atlanta University, right there. And but this was what was built for us. Now it went from this. Now there's so many other different things. Like you can see my watch here, and you have a toolkit, you have a camera, access to a pen, a media tablet. So I could put screens in every student's hand, and they can follow along with me if I'm doing a lesson. But inside of here are also spawnables. So you can put out a scratch pad where students can write messages to one another. You can pull out human organs. So if you want a beating human heart or a segmented human heart, you can put it out in that environment, and students can actually manipulate it, split it, all kind of things, and just explore it. So it gives them the tools to be able to do different things, and then you can create in this space what you want. So you can actually augment this space with different things. So we've had our Candle in the Dark Gala here, and it's been decorated for graduation before, and brought alumni in to experience what our Metaversity campus looks like. I'm going to go to two more small spaces. The Journey for Civil Rights one was made for our African diaspora class. So if I say bring the room here, everyone that would have been in headset with me with my room code would have been able to come with me without me having to go back out of the app. So this is the museum that we helped co-create, and the Underground Railroad Museum is first the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and then La Amistad experience. I'm gonna go through here really quickly. So it gives you introduction to the Underground Railroad. What I love about it is that you see the Morehouse Glee Club has songs in here. You could actually change what you're listening to. And students can look at things in museum, pick up artifacts, which you can't do in real museums, push and learn more information about the abolitionists. I think my favorite part is the Harriet Tubman one, because you could actually pick up the gun. But they could also put together their own freedom quilts and so on and so on. So it's an entire experience in here. And if you look up, you can see the North Star. And it's also down on the bottom of the ground. I'm gonna come out of this, and then the Edmund Pettus Bridge. So you could actually walk over the big bridge and go through the historic Bloody Sunday. So you look behind you and you see what everyone looked like at the beginning of the march. And did you all know the Edmund Pettus Bridge was named after a Grand Dragon of the KKK? So Edmund Pettus was a Grand Dragon of the KKK, and he probably was rolling over in his grave that they marched to freedom over this here bridge. But I think that's a good opportunity. So students can watch videos in here, teachers can teach. We've done We Shall Overcome across this bridge and gone all the way to the other side, and they get to actually see how realistic it is to true to form. But if you get all the way to the end, I think what's after teleporting through is that at the end you see what's awaiting you on the other side, which was the police, which then they get to tell how that makes them feel that, you know, that was justice. And then the final one that really is jarring, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the disclaimer out, is the La Amistad slave ship. and it was originally built for a literature class, so we have a disclaimer for it. But it tells the story of the illegal slave trading that happened to Joseph Sinkay in 1839. So it actually tells the story. You can click every placard, and it'll tell you the story. But it's really realistic, and we worked with them really hand in hand to make it something that was representative of the kind of atrocities. So you can see blood, you see urine, you see feces, you see a mother about to jump with her baby. You do see blood. You can go down to the lower deck, and in the lower deck, you also see slaves piled on each other. You see blood, you see handprints. But you also hear the creaking in the chains. It tells another story on this placard of the Lama Star slave ship. And now you can actually, you can climb back up to upper deck. And then the final thing that I want to show you is our the mixed reality. So now students don't have to necessarily be in, I don't know if I have a whole lot of space here, but you can kind of see because you'll see yourselves. So you see yourselves, but you can put galleries and I'm gonna switch it so it's the long way. And so you can see the human body, so students can walk up and learn about different parts of the human body and human anatomy. There's also an anatomy lab and there's a cadaver lab that's also in here, and students can pull apart a human cadaver over and over again and then ask questions. There's also an NPC in here. I gotta find her. Oh, she's way over there.
Okay.
And you can actually ask this AI teacher in the question, so it can recognize your voice, and you can ask questions about any part of the anatomy that's happening here. So this is how we're also using the technology. Now we have the Quest 3s and 3Ss.
Can we see the NPC again?
Oh, let me pull it back. Where's she go? She's like over there on this side.
Okay, she's.
Oh, there she is now. Okay, I did change it.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, I'm going to stand right here and get stuck with. Hi, Wendy. Could you tell me a little bit more about the femur? Wendy, can you tell me about the bended femur? Oh, she's on.
Oh, we can't.
Yeah, it's muted.
Oh, we can.
But you all can see the.
Yeah,
She responded back to me by my name. So she'll respond back to the students by name as well. So, and you can interrupt her if you want to and ask more questions if you want to. But yeah. And okay, I'm actually doing all right on time, which is weird, because normally I'm off time. One more thing I want to show you, because I think it's just so we also have where you can take quizzes in here. So if you go to like the King's Labyrinth, students come, and when I tell you it's hard, it is super hard. So I taught this CSI course. I don't know if it's even on here. I can't remember. Yeah, Atoms, Evidence, and Avatars, Forensic Science. And so I can select that. You can synchronize it so all students can like work together. But they go through and they literally take the quiz. And so what is forensic science primarily used for? Cooking food, solving crimes, building houses, gardening, solving crimes. And so it lets me go through and get it right. Now if I got it wrong, that would be a different story. And then they have to find their way to the next question. So it literally is a labyrinth experience. Some of the questions are in different, answers are in different spaces, so, so like here, you see like answers to questions, but you have to find the question. So this is a question: which branch of science is most used to identify unknown substances at a crime scene? And so they're looking around trying to find, but say it's chemistry, right? So say that but say they get the wrong answer. Okay? So say they go, and they pull down astronomy. Yeah, just pull down. And then go back to submit, because they have to go back. They have to go back to submit. It starts them back over. So you don't even get through. But it'll test your patience.
Oh, it will.
But that's why for me, I synchronize it so that students can work together. So that way they're working together to figure it out so that they can go to the next thing, especially when it's 10 questions, because some of this gets labor intensive. Because they're actually like climbing or whatever, but the gates open, you know. But then it'll actually let me go to the next stage, right? But that's that, and our students actually love that because boys like to explore and climb, and so like there's other parts of it where you can climb all over the place and kind of like rock climb and climb at gates and stuff. But we also have our AI lesson library here as well, which we used to can only access from the browser, but these are all the lessons that are available here. And so all of these have been created by myself and other educators and creators. So the AI Basics course, I had my Metaverse course that was here. But I'll show it to you when I go really quickly to talk about it. But you can go, and students, when they go into these spaces, let's say we're talking about labor laws. So I'm going to her space. They're now immersed in this environment with no distractions, and they have an NPC in there too, that the teachers actually create these lessons. So it's their scripts, it's their resources, it's their assets. It's their environment. Probably should have loaded the environment that I've already loaded. But I can show you on my way on the web, but I kind of wanted to show you what it says right here. I'm going to load it this one. I'll show it to you on the web. But that's what students can do at Morehouse and PR. Let me go back to the presentation though really quickly.
You ever get dizzy?
Okay.
I'm just being real.
No, it
Those
does.
things make me.
No, Lisa, it does. It does. I just do this all the time now. But the first time I had an experience, I did get dizzy because I was walking around thinking I was, I'm a little gamer girl. I love this stuff. And I was on the demo call and I was like, Danny, that's our developer. I was like, I gotta go. He was like, okay. And yeah, it was a puke fest. Sorry, y'all. So I just have to be real. So I threw up. I was dizzy. I was laying down, and my kids are trifling, and they told me, "Mommy, you're not a real gamer. We knew it." And I was like, "I'm gonna master this." So what I started to do was learn that you have to kind of ramp up your experiences. You can't be in there for an hour, 2 hours in the beginning. You have to start with 15 minutes at a time, and we usually don't have students in there for longer than 30 to 40 minutes. So they're never in. Now, do I leave them in the environment because they want to be there? Absolutely, have fun. But do I go on an experience that is that long with them or teach that long in an experience with them? No. The longest I have taught has been an hour and a half, but I was teaching them how to create in the space, and so that was a little different. And now I'm used to it, so I'm in this headset all the time, and so I don't have any problems. And that was that one time, and then I learned. But we now have AI Holotutors, and this is kind of what the platform looks like. And so they give you personalization, real-time interaction for engagement, and continuous learning, so you can go into the back end and learn about what your students are learning. So teachers get to put in all the details of their lesson. They have an AI creator, and they can put in the subject matter, they can choose their avatar, and all of the things, and it's really, really simple to use. What we saw by using just VR is that students came to class more, students' grades increased, and they also were more engaged and less distracted in the environment. And that was really a huge win for us. So we've been consistently using this throughout our courses, and teachers have an opportunity to come and visit and check out headsets and then use them in their class, and we help develop their entire course from start to finish. Training educators has been one of my missions over the last year, has been getting our upskilling educators. So there are challenges, equitable technology and having access to them, making sure that they're safe. We are in the West End, and technology will walk out the door if you don't have it, properly where it needs to be. And so we want to make sure that while our students, because our students get to check these out and keep them, but students also put things down. So we have to teach them how to be responsible for the technological tools that they receive. And so we're trying to just make sure that better technology is in these student and teacher toolkits. Network connectivity is always an issue. We have worked really hard with our CIO to make sure that we have our own device network and all that great stuff. And so she's been really good in helping us. But we also have a partnership that started with T-Mobile to provide hotspots whenever we wanted to demo in places where there wouldn't be as much network connectivity and that we wouldn't stress this system. And then we provide these training resources. So I have two courses on Canvas that are available to our teachers, teaching about AI teaching assistants, as well as about teaching in virtual reality and what that looks like. So they can go through it asynchronously and then meet with me live. And so I'm rolling that out too. And then obviously we talk about privacy and security concerns. Everything that we have as far as our data, that's why I like working with our company that we work with, Victory XR, is because all of what we own is ours. And it's not sold as a service for others to utilize. It is primarily Morehouse's. So we have autonomy over our own scholarship, and they don't put out any data or research without our consent or anything like that. So I really like that. And then we just have to have conversations because we need to push past AI being used for academic dishonesty and think more about how can we teach the ethical use of it, how to use it appropriately and properly. And a lot of us who are our faculty now have seen what the internet did, and we saw how we've gone from AOL chat being all that existed, dial-up, and all of the things. But I tell people, we're still kind of at the dial-up stages with this stuff. This isn't, it looks nice, but this is not where we came from. This is not where we started, and it's still growing. But I think this is opportunistic reality for our students, a way for them to chart their path into a $1.5 trillion industry. And so it's really important that they understand that these educational opportunities exist for them. And I couldn't do it without a team of people behind me, so I stand as one, but here I am as many. I have wonderful faculty, and it's grown, so these aren't all the faculty members, but these are the ones that actually started the initiative with me and stand by me no matter what and across all disciplines, so very grateful for them. And our students define the culture, so I think that they should design the future. And I'm all about them building the metaverse table. So the metaverse being all the technologies that undergird the metaverse, and that's from cloud computing to coding to using Unity technologies to build, in different platforms. Just really teaching them how to vibe code, honestly, like how to break tools and give feedback and get the attention of tech companies so that they can do what we need them to do that works for our students better. And embrace educational innovation and choose joy. So if you see on my headset, it says choose happy, because this is my happy place, and it reinvigorated my willingness and wanting to teach differently. So you could grab this QR code to stay connected with me, and I'll put it back up, or you can go to my website, Unite the Metaverse. We're also on social media as MetaHouse1867 on Instagram. And I just want to thank you. I'm going to show you the AI Holotutors really, really quickly. I think I have like 1 minute, but I'm going to show you what the platform looks like so you can see how easy it is. But Marla, thank you for inviting me, and Spelman College, the Innovation Lab for hosting, Morehouse, and all these great, wonderful people that stand beside our students. And I was a fellow for OpenAI, and one of the use cases that I did for the image generation when I was an alpha tester was creating culturally relevant images of Black men in virtual reality. And so they were just blown away by it and published an article on it. But I think it's really important that when we use these tools, that we are creating imagery that we want to be out there that promotes the brilliance and excellence of our young people. So thank you. And this is really quickly the site. You can go to holotutor.ai. Let's see if it pulls up.
Separate platform?
This is for the AI teaching assistants or tutors.
Yes.
It's